Hello, clever people, and welcome to my review for Marriage Story. So Marriage Story is a film starring Adam Driver, Scarlett Johansson, and it is directed by Noah Baumbach, and it follows the story of a couple that is experiencing a divorce, and it follows them as they initially try to do it without any lawyers, but the woman, Scarlett Johansson, is recommended a lawyer, and after she checks her out, she decides that she wants to do it using the court system, and that pushes both people in the marriage to places that they never wanted to go. So Marriage Story was my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. I originally said way back at the beginning of the year that The Irishman was my most anticipated, but as time was going on and as reviews were coming out, Marriage Story really did start climbing up there, and I honestly became more excited for it than The Irishman because it seemed like the type of movie that I would love. It was a small drama, it was about very few characters, reviews were spectacular. I haven't seen many Noah Baumbach films. I believe I've only seen the Meyerowitz stories. I don't think I've seen anything else from him, but I really did enjoy the Meyerowitz stories, and I definitely want to check out more of his work after seeing this movie because it really is fantastic. Marriage Story is a completely different kind of divorce movie than what you've seen before. You've had Kramer versus Kramer, you've had other divorce movies that tries to show couples going through things, and this one, it just feels completely different. The movie is stressful, and at the same time, it's calming. The movie is intense, and at the same time, it's pleasing. It's depressing, but at the same time, it's relieving. It really is a movie that is multifaceted. It has different emotions, and it was absolutely a fantastic film. The performances, I know that they're going to be talked about a lot, and I know both of these actors are going to get nominated, but seriously, the two leads in this film are absolutely phenomenal. I honestly think that Adam Driver might give the best male performance of the year, and I think Scarlett Johansson is probably neck and neck with Florence Pugh in Midsommar for also giving the best performance of the year. It's absolutely astonishing what these two actors do, particularly in an argument scene, and I'm sure that you've heard a lot about it. It's absolutely fantastic, and the raw emotion that comes from that scene is unequal to any other actors that I have seen this year. And the dialogue in this film is just so well written. The film flows absolutely perfectly, and the dialogue is part of that. The editing as well, but the dialogue feels so realistic. It makes me happy to see directors that are willing to take chances with their dialogue and put in lines that don't make logical grammar sense. And sometimes they put in lines that it seems like characters wouldn't say, but they're bold choices that pay off because they make the characters seem so much richer, and they make the atmosphere seem so much stronger. And the realistic dialogue really does end up helping with the emotional gut punch at the end of this movie. I have not been emotionally devastated by a movie like Marriage Story for a really, really long time because it gets you invested in the characters. It makes it so that you want to see both of them happy. That's what's great about this movie, is that it doesn't pick sides. It doesn't show the dad being bad or the mom being bad. It shows both of them being bad. It shows both of them being good. And in the end of the day, it does show that one parent's desires were stronger and that one parent's desires maybe were better for the child, but it never makes you make that decision, and it always leaves it up to you to figure out who you're siding with, and in the end, you don't side with anybody. You realize that even though it was necessary, it was heartbreaking for both people involved. It's just such a multifaceted movie. I saw it twice because I wanted to see it twice before I reviewed it, because the first time I saw it, I was just so taken aback. I just saw it for a second time, and really, it's so calming the second time in a really weird way. And I'm not saying that a lot of the emotional intensity in the film goes away or anything like that. All I'm saying is that the way that they took the way that when you rewatch this movie, that you know every scene basically and you know where everything is going to land, the film just flows so well. It's like butter, and it still keeps you entertained, and it still keeps you emotionally invested. And honestly, the rewatch really helped strengthen my appreciation for this movie. I think that this is fantastic. I don't think it's quite as good as Parasite, so I don't think it's quite my #1 movie of the year. but it's still fantastic. I love it to pieces. It's a movie I think I'm going to be watching probably 4 or 5 times in this next month. Not only because I want to show it to other people, but because it's a movie that just feels right. When I watch it, I feel weird mixtures of emotion, and the catharsis at the end of the film just feels so relieving. This is just a fantastic movie, and I really suggest that you check it out. It's on Netflix, and it's absolutely fantastic. I will give Marriage Story a 9.5 out of 10. Really, I have a hard time finding problems with this movie. I mean, I have problems with a couple of lines here and there that maybe sound on the kid, that maybe sound a bit too mature, and I think that there's a scene towards the end of the film that kind of everything after that, it takes a while for it to feel quite on the same level as that scene, but really, I have a hard time coming up with problems with this movie. It really was just an overall positive experience, and it's a movie I really recommend you check out. But anyways, that concludes my review for Marriage Story. So, what are your thoughts on this film, or what is your favorite Noah Baumbach movie? Comment in the comment section below, and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.